I'm Fernando Escobar with FabTV. And Garrett, how did you found a treasure and you had to take 100 hours of tape and make it into this masterpiece?
Yeah. I mean, I should say that I started off actually not being aware that Fox's family archive existed. In my mind, I was making a short film that was sort of a sister film to Alone, which was a 13-minute New York Times op doc that was also talking about incarceration from sort of the familial and feminine perspective. And so when we were done filming, Fox actually handed me 100 hours of mini DV tapes, and I had to kind of really radically rethink the whole process. And the way in which we did that, I think, was to look at some of the formal connections that existed between the new footage and the old footage, and to also think about some of the emotional beats that exist in the archive and how we could interweave both moments to move the story forward. But I think the way in which we ultimately were really able to succeed at it was by framing the entire film around this idea of love and unity, which is timeless and which is not based on sort of a logical or quantifiable chronology, which I think would have presented a new set of challenges just in terms of the edit of the
Right,
film.
right. What made you go black and white?
Um, my last 3 or so films have been in black and white. I think I'm in love with black and white. I love the way it looks. I love the way it feels. I love all the different meanings it can kind of present. But I also, I feel like it's always important to remind people that color film, we used to make films in black and white, and then color films became an option, and then they became a sort of expectation and standard. And we're still so young in the field that I still consider it an option. I still think we can go with either. Yeah.
I agree. I was speaking to Fox and Rob earlier, and I was complimenting Fox on how her cinematography, I mean, she should get some awards for her cinematography too.
I agree. I mean, she had an amazing eye, and also some of my favorite moments in the archive actually are her sort of directing Remington and Lawrence, two of her older sons, on how to hold the camera and how to frame and how to see, essentially, how to be curious, how to develop their own sort of cinematic language. And I think that so much of witnessing that and so much of being able to work with that archive just reaffirms this idea, or I guess it reaffirms all the different ways in which I think Bach and her family resisted the system, and fought back and maintained their individuality and their creativity within all of that.
I think it has come out at the perfect time to put a light on this whole incarceration thing. So, I mean, total, credit to you to just making this film. It's such a great timing.
Thank you. Yeah, I appreciate that. I mean, I feel really strongly though that this film, unfortunately, has always been timely. I mean, the prison industrial complex is just an offshoot of the enslavement of human beings. It's the beginning of the new world. It's just a transition point from the same problems that we have always known in our country. So I'm remaining optimistic for the future that the 2.3 million Americans that are incarcerated will become more visible, and that the conversation is going to stay in the mainstream until we fixed it from the bottom up.
I had an idea. What if you told Fox and Rob to keep filming and let's do another one in 10 years?
Oh, that's a great idea. That's a really good idea. Fernando, I'm going to hold on to that one, man.
Right on. Great talking to you. Great job. It's a perfect film. Academy Award for Best Documentary.
Oh, thank you. I so appreciate you. Thanks for your time.
Thank you too. Bye-bye.
Bye.